Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the JD Kustom Jam Jar, and today we're going to be featuring ChianoSky and Jordan Aerts. Guys, welcome to the Jam Jar.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. What an honor to have you here. Yeah,
It's a great space. I mean,
thank
some
you.
beautiful guitars around here.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, guys, this is all about you. And I'd like to know, like maybe as individuals first, let me know, Chiano, who are you and what are you about?
Well, I mean, I kind of been singing since I was 14 years old. Started songwriting when I was 16. And then I got signed when I was just turned 18 and it was kind of like, whoa, and then I wrote my first album, Hungry, and I guess to jump from then, like so much has happened. I've opened up for Justin Bieber on his South African tour, Carly Rae Jepsen when she was here. And it's been amazing, and now 3 albums later, and working with other musicians and expanding just my perspective and the way I interpret music and pushing myself as an artist into different genres and stuff. So I guess, it's hard to put yourself in a nutshell.
Yeah, but that's pretty huge. That's, sure, some achievements there up your sleeve, eh?
Yeah, I had to throw it in there.
Nice. And Jordan, yourself?
So I've been playing music. I was a guitar player first, originally. When I was about 11 years old, I picked up guitar. My grandfather, he was a musician, so he passed down all these instruments when he passed away. Like this big grand piano, his old saxophone. So that's where I got a bit of a jazz influence. And then I've been producing for about 4 years now. I studied production as soon as I left school. And then I've just also been collaborating with other artists and trying something different with each person that I work with. So yeah, that's me. I'm in another 2 bands that I've been with for about 3 years now, all different genres of music. Sean and I actually met, we were playing at a gig together at a venue in Santa.
And I fangirled.
Okay.
I ran up and I was like, I love you guys. Like, you guys sound so tight, and the vocals and just the production, everything sounds amazing. And then
fantastic.
Exchanging numbers, and then
we got into studio.
Yeah.
And
You actually took the question away from me. I was going to ask, how did you guys decide to work together? So it's obviously from meeting at a gig.
Yeah.
And it all stemmed from there.
Yeah, it was cool. We had had a whiskey at the bar together. And then before we knew it, we were in studio and writing, and actually the first song that we performed, What You're Gonna Do, is actually the first song that we made together.
Yeah, it was all recorded and produced in one day.
In one night.
From the morning till night. She came at about 12 o'clock and we had a finished song, and then we knew we're definitely onto something. We've worked on about over 10 songs actually. But we've got a single that we're going to be pushing. We're going to record a video soon, and that'll be our first song together once we've actually got a name.
Okay. So you're going to find a name for this amalgamation of yours. Fantastic.
It's hard to sometimes find something that just puts it all, and that's also that's also cool, and that also kind of people are going to remember and.
Exactly, yeah. It's got to have a bit of a twist to it. I
I
think when you find it, it's going to be the next.
I don't know.
That's why we're waiting,
guys.
We're waiting it out.
Yeah. So I like the way that you get around your programming and your production. You're also a multi-instrumentalist, and this combination of jazzy and house music with a bit of hip hop mixed into it. Tell me more about that, guys.
So I DJ on weekends. It's my side thing that I do. So EDM and house music, I have a big influence for it, and I like integrating the live instrumentation into an EDM sound because I think that's where the future is heading. And
definitely.
A lot of artists are doing this whole live looping vibe where you don't need a full band, you don't need a drummer. It's all being done by one person, and obviously Chiano just has the most amazing voice.
I must agree.
The combination.
I think the first album I ever listened to was Etta James, and then followed up with Jamiroquai and Amy Winehouse, and So the soulfulness and the jazz has always been like a part of my life since I was a small girl, and that's like, I think with all of the influences that Jordan has mentioned, plus with like, you know, my voice and the way I like to approach it and stuff. But I also think I'm pretty versatile. You know, I don't like to put myself in a box either. Like we'll just get into studio and we'll be like, oh, we like, I feel like this kind of vibe today, and then we'll just like bang out a total different kind of vibe and song, and
that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, you have to keep it fresh, you know. And I think, you know, the kind of music we're making as well is like a little bit of like world music, where I'm saying there's like no limits, there's no box, you know, but it kind of makes you feel good, and it gives that like good energy, and I think that's
what we were feeling on that day, you know.
Yeah, and I mean it's so true as well. That you say the world is going in that direction, and I don't know if you've seen Rodriguez Jr. and he's got a set that he does with Circle, and there's also you know accompanied by a singer, and this whole thing of looping while doing your set live. I think you guys are onto something huge here, you know. So yeah, that's fantastic.
Jordan holding me down here. It's just like fucking.
Nice. So you spoke a bit about your influences, Jordan. Who are your influences that have set you to this?
So when I was younger, I used to listen to like Pink Floyd.
Okay.
That was more the guitar. Pink Floyd, Gary Moore, very soulful, and I used to listen to. I was actually in a rock band, surprisingly, back in the day. Definitely on the sax. Sax I picked up a bit later on. As soon as my grandfather passed away, I had his sax for about 5 years, and I was young. I didn't touch it, and always just try to pick it up and jam it a little bit, but I couldn't really do anything. It was only really out of school I decided I want to commit to it and really just stick to that kind of influence. So I don't have many sax influences. I haven't really explored much. I should, but on the guitar side, I've just listened to lots of different types of music. I don't want to limit myself to one genre.
Of course.
Every instrument's played differently in different genres. So that's, I think, FKJ for the whole live looping setup. He's my biggest influence. He's the reason I kind of bought the Sakai thing, and just the way he approached it all. He's been a big influence of mine, definitely.
Okay, sure. Well, it's good how all these styles that you've been listening to have influenced you to create what you're doing today.
Yeah.
And that in itself is also versatile, you know, with the elements of the saxophone, the guitar, EDM, all this put together. I think
there's no, like, also with music's going right now, like, there's no structures, you know. It used to be like A, B, C, you know. It used to be like all these, and now you could be like this whole kind of freestyle for 3 minutes and they'll play it on the radio, you know, or, you know, there's so much room to play and have fun and no rules. And I think music's just, everything is just hibernating and like turning into this hybrid thing, and like, you know,
and it's exciting to see it unfold, eh?
It's Men in Black stuff going on.
Nice. So guys, you know, being involved in the music industry in South Africa, and from, you know, different aspects of it, from like the electronic side and being in a band, what are your opinions on where we are today?
Well, I've only actually been in the industry this is my first year. I was studying last year, so I think Chiano has much more experience than I do. So
yes.
I think I'll leave that to her.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I don't know. I think South African music is definitely moving in a positive direction. There's a lot more. I think a few years ago there was just more like pop, and then like hip hop, and then obviously there's this whole other Afrikaans scene, and then, you know what I mean. And now I just feel like there's a lot more room for smaller, different styles, different genre acts that's also getting radio time, and people are also noticing. And I would only say, I think the artists are great. I really do. I think they're all talented, multi-talented as well. A lot of South African artists are multi-talented, and I just think the only problem is there's not enough platforms actually just for artists, or venues, not enough venues for live acts to actually go and perform, you know, as much as they can. But I respect the artists that are here. You know, obviously I have like my own favorites, and I like some indie stuff and all more alternative things, and so I don't listen to too many pop artists here, even though I kind of sing a lot of pop music. But I think we are definitely on a similar level, like for the rest of the world, and I think we have a lot to offer and like new perspectives, you know. And also it's really cool, like different languages, like in one song, you know what I mean? Like even the song I did with Questa, you know, I'm singing in English and then he's coming with a verse in Venda, and it's like, you know, just so people are making music that appeals to like such a wide market of every culture, and you're definitely getting that sense of this like rainbow nation with more than just like one band or one song that's being put out there and being made. So it's really, I think it's reflecting a good space for what we offer as South Africans. I think it's reflecting like who we are as people and like the way that we live here and what we're proud of, and that's coming through in the music that we're making as artists, and that's positive.
I like what you're saying. Yeah, I like what you're saying. So now, guys, if you had to give some advice to the youth of South Africa, what would that advice be?
All right, I think I'd say, you know, for me, obviously with the way I got, you know, how I got discovered and everything, you know, I was waitressing, and then the right guy came through the door, and it was all about just talking and sharing. I think there's a lot of talented people out there that are making a lot of amazing things, but they're not talking about it, they're not sharing, and
putting themselves out there.
Yeah, you just actually don't know who's in the room. You know, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know what they're, you know, you could be talking to like the head of A&R Universal Worldwide, and he's just visiting South Africa. You know, he's having a drink at the bar. You know what I mean? I think it's just important to share what you're doing, you know, your talents, and talk about it and share it. And also, for me as a singer-songwriter, especially for young singers and songwriters, is to write as much as possible. And just because there's so much value in that, you know, if you're writing your own music, and then when it comes down to like royalties, and you know what I mean, you can it can go so much further than just, you know, just singing covers or something like that.
That's it. So being more vocal, and obviously
putting your thoughts down, thinking about it, writing, see things that inspire you. You know, being original, and but not also overthinking it. That let's try and be original. You know, to be yourself.
Yeah, well, the more you do it, and the more you know, the more you put yourself out there, the more things are gonna appear, I think.
Yeah.
That's it. And Jordan, what would your advice be?
I started by just taking Instagram videos. I think the social media platform we have now, you don't need to even have someone physically see you play. All you need is someone scrolling through their phone. They see a video of you like just doing a cover or doing like a live looping video, and that's all it takes is for someone to share that, reaches their following. And I think that's a big way for people in South Africa or around the world to share their talents. Is we have these tools now that people didn't have 10, 20 years ago.
Correct.
And you should take advantage of that.
You know,
what I think.
Yeah, I think like a lot of youth also think like they've only made it when they're getting signed to a major label, or you know, then it makes their music important. And there's like what I'm saying, there's so many platforms. Like was it Discord? Say it 3 times fast. There's so many platforms that they can be their own, you know, they can be their own cheerleader, and they don't have to be signed to a major label for their music to mean something or to count or to be good enough, or you know what I mean. I think like they must get out of that thinking and actually just like put themselves out there and be their own boss. And there's so many platforms to do it that cost next to nothing, you know.
That's it. It's almost like what you're saying is it must all stem from the love of doing what you do.
Yes.
And then doing it, and then eventually getting
I think that's the biggest thing with you.
Yeah.
Is just doing it. You know, we always talk about it and we're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, but we don't, you know, gotta just do it. You know, put your head down and do it. You know?
Yeah, I like what you're saying, guys. I like what you're saying. So now this leads me to the last question of the jam jar. And I mean, what is that flavor that you're going to be adding? There's so many different tastes.
Yeah, I know.
Please have a Provita there.
Okay. Thank you.
Cheers. Cheers.
Well, this is probably
Guys, yeah,
one
what
of
an
the
honor
most
to have you here.
thank
beautifully
you so
bizarre
much.
things I've done.
Well, I give you the honor then.
Thank you.
Nice.
Well, I guess we're putting like our flavors like
A little bit of
this
soul, a little bit of,
little bit of
you
jazz.
know, some vibes. I've never jamming a beach before.
Dude. And you know
Not
what's so
bad.
funny is on the way here we were talking about how much we love strawberry jam.
Oh, yeah?
So this is like all coming in. Mm.
That's so true. Actually, some good jam.
Love 'em.
I won't lie.
Yeah.
It's a bit cheesy.
I mean, one for the books. I'm gonna remember this bit.
I love that. Guys, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you for your time,
Thank you so
Jordan.
much.
Yeah.
I
Thanks for having
really
us.
look forward
Thank
to
you so
hearing your
much.
jam. And Shiana, thank you guys. And yeah, I look forward to first of all hearing the name that you've come up for this
So
project,
we-
Yeah, we'll give you.
and to see it go international.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're excited and thank you for having us. We love it. We love the people, the crew guys,
Nice.
everybody behind.
See you.
Katie Kustom, we love you.
Wicked, we got it. We got it. Nice.